I'm Colleen. Welcome to a brand new series on the Out of This World channel. If you've been watching our past videos, you know that we've been doing a series called Conversations from Beyond. And we've had a whole lineup of universal beings of light who've been joining us and bringing in messages for you. We've been having great conversations from those messages and learning a ton. And in the last episode we recorded, so that was CFB9, the being of light who joined us, things took a little turn into different kind of information. And she started talking about the history of Earth and told us some stories about how Earth started and some stories from Earth's history. And when Cindy and I finished recording that video, Cindy got a message that was just for the two of us. And they told us that we were doing another series. And I have to look at my notes. It's called Earth's History Explained by a Light Being. They gave us the title of the new series. So here we are doing episode 1. So in Conversations from Beyond, we don't know. I think we're going to keep doing that series as well. And when we sit down to record, they're going to tell us which series the video is for. So in CFB, we don't know who the guest is going to be or what the message is going to be about for that episode. So as of right now, for me anyway, it's the same thing. I don't know who the guest is going to be for this new series. And I don't know if it's going to be the guest who joined us in CFB9, who is going to do the whole series with us, or if it's going to be the same thing where it's a different guest every time, but we're going to find out in a second. So the way it works, in a second, I'll turn things over to Cindy, and she will get a message for us, channel a message for us using her pendulum. And then we usually talk about the message a bit and ask our guests some follow-up questions, and we go from there. So Cindy, are you ready? We'll get started.
I am, and I'm excited. So yeah, I channel these messages using my pendulum and a mat, and it's a direct connection to my guiding angels and my higher self. And I've developed this over the last 8 years, this relationship that I have with my angels. But when I channel these messages, my angels step aside and they allow a being of light to come through and give us messages and information. Now, I trust my angels explicitly, and so I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about this. But I also ask you, because these messages so far have been challenging long-held beliefs that have been out there. So, use your own discernment, take what you like, leave the rest, mull it over, whatever you want, or just completely leave it aside. Some of you might dive in. I just find this information absolutely fascinating, and I'm so looking forward to what they're going to say today. So I'm going to light my candle, which is my connection with my angels. It helps to this is a very wonky match. All right. So yeah, it's just sort of my little subroutine to bring in the energy and connect with my angels. All right.
Type some notes.
Put my glasses on, and I will tilt the camera down so you can see the mat a little bit and see what's going on. Okay. Okay, so I have circles. This is my angels here. Usually it's gone straight to a being of light. We have something to say first before you meet with this being of light. It is Pele that will be guiding you through this series on Earth's history. In a few short months, Pele will arrive in the flesh on Earth. And this series will be long over by then. This will be a short and fascinating and mind-opening and heart-opening series. You will complete this series before returning to Conversations from Beyond. This is because Pele has other things to attend to. Okay, so the pendulum has gone still, so my angels have stepped aside. This is Pele. I'm going to guide you through the history of Earth in a new and exciting perspective. There are many perspectives on the history of Earth. However, this perspective is one of the most pure. You see, every being experiences the history of Earth in their own way. And this is always going to be. No two beings ever experience anything exactly the same way. This applies to Earth, and it applies to the universe. The perspective I am going to share is one of the most pure perspectives there is, because I am a very powerful and pure love energy soul, and I have completed all my karma, and I am about to reincarnate on Earth in Dharma. This is one of the highest perspectives you will be able to hear. I have a story to share with you. There is a story about the first two people on Earth. And this is the story of Adam and Eve. I was Eve. And Mary Magdalene was Adam. The soul that incarnated once as Mary Magdalene, that is. So, I was Eve, and Mary Magdalene was Adam. And we arrived on Earth as the first two incarnated humans. However, before that, we had been to Earth many, many, many times as energetic beings. And we had set the stage of Earth. And we had prepared the Earth for the arrival of human beings. This was not just us. There were many other souls that arrived as energetic beings that helped prepare the Earth for human beings. You may understand that the story of Adam and Eve being kicked out of Eden is a story of Adam and Eve incarnating as human beings on Earth and leaving the universe and the knowledge of their love-filled souls behind. This is the story of two souls that were the first to incarnate in a human body. So, when love-filled beings started incarnating on Earth, they became energetic beings in the Earth's atmosphere. And they created the Earth's atmosphere and the Earth to become a habitable planet. This took a very long time in Earth's history. the time of having people incarnated as human beings on Earth is not even 1/4 of the time it took to prepare Earth for human beings. So, love-filled beings arrived in Earth's atmosphere and created the habitable conditions for human beings. When the first human beings began to incarnate, they were in a dense and heavy body compared to the eons they had experienced as energetic beings in Earth's atmosphere. So this jump to becoming human beings was a very significant and difficult jump. You see, when a love-filled being is incarnated on Earth, we are not able to remember our love-filled selves. And we are challenged with remembering that we are indeed beings of love and light. In an energetic state, that is a much easier conclusion to come to. In a body of a human being with the heaviness and denseness of that energy, it is much more difficult to come to the conclusion that we are indeed love and light ourselves. So, this incarnation into Adam and Eve was a difficult one. And it set back our progress significantly. As love-filled, energetic beings, we had made a lot of progress towards understanding our love-filled beingness while incarnated in Earth's atmosphere. Then we entered bodies. This began a long and arduous journey through density and heaviness that we were unprepared for. There was, of course, more than just Adam and Eve incarnated on Earth. There was a lot more souls incarnated at that time. The first number of human beings incarnated together was 144,000. This is where that number comes from. Why that number? There is a significance to that number. And you will begin to understand more about its significance as this series unfolds. The first 144,000 souls to incarnate on Earth are the most experienced souls on Earth. And they have been here since the beginning of Earth. And they were the ones who created and prepared Earth for human inhabitants. The 144,000 is a group of souls that is responsible for making the Earth experiment a success. These souls have incarnated over and over and over again. These souls are the souls that will lead the Earth in the awakening process over the coming years. Now, I need to clarify that every single soul on Earth is responsible for making the Earth experiment a success. Every single soul is deserving of celebration and recognition. Every single soul on Earth has worked hard at this experiment and has been working hard throughout many, many lifetimes. The first 144,000 are special in their own way. They incarnated first, and they have been working at this longer than any other souls on Earth. Every soul is special in its own way. Some souls are special because they bring an energy to Earth that is a needed and hope-filled energy. Others bring an energy to Earth that will help with healing. And others bring an energy to Earth that will help others see their true selves. And others bring an energy to Earth that will make Earth a habitable place for human beings. All of these gifts are needed, and all of these gifts are what has led to the success of this incarnation of Earth. There were 2 previous incarnations of Earth that failed. And we learned from those failures. And those failures are also part of the success of this incarnation of Earth. Nothing is unimportant. Everything has a role, and everything leads to more love and light in the universe and on Earth. Everything leads to more love and light on Earth. This is a difficult concept for some people to understand. As you begin to heal your own wounds, you will understand that everything leads to more love and light on Earth. Okay, she's done for now. Wow.
Okay, wow.
The Adam and Eve story.
No kidding. And 144,000.
And 144,000, yeah.
I don't really know much about, I don't even know sorry. Is that, I don't know if that's from a, formal religion or from a spiritual
I have no idea.
group of people who believe a certain way. I'm not sure, but I know I've heard about the 144,000.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have a religious background at all. The only thing that I think I know, and it's just that I think I know, like I think, and I don't know if it comes from more, like you said, but I think the Jehovah's Witnesses believe there's 144,000 that will ascend. There's 144,000 souls that will ascend.
Yep, pardon my ignorance. Like I was raised Christian Presbyterian, but I actually always wanted to take like a world religions course and never did. So I don't have that. Yeah, now that you're saying that, that maybe comes, I didn't even know if it might be from, I don't know, followers of Seth or like whatever, because I haven't read everything. Okay, so, but this is again what we keep talking about. I see how all these stories ended up being the stories that they ended up being passed down to us. as getting
Well,
pushed.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like Adam and
Yes.
Eve, and like all of it. Yeah.
But
Like,
that
because
was
of
really
course.
interesting. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I remember when I was a kid asking my dad, well, I couldn't have been that young. Like I understood procreation. And I asked my dad was, an elder in the church and that. And I just remember asking him, but like, how could Adam and Eve like have all the babies? Like and then they had babies together. Like that's not how that's not healthy. Like and I remember him putting down his newspaper and saying to me, you just have to have faith. Because he just didn't have an answer. And he did have great faith and everything, but he didn't have an answer to that. Because as you were giving this, I don't know what was going on with my face. I always watch back later because I know parts where I'm like, I'm trying to read my notes and put this all together. And then I just have to say to myself, I'll just think about it after. Just
Yes.
take in the message.
Exactly.
But that's the answer is that, yeah, it makes much more sense, the 144,000. Interesting.
And it was interesting that they grew and expanded or could understand their love-filled beingness more as energetic beings, and they had progressed so far in that evolution,
Mhm.
And then when it came time to now become in the body, it set all that back so long. However, then at the same time, they say that the time of human beings on Earth is like a quarter of the time it took to prepare Earth. So,
Yes. Yeah, because what was going through my mind when you were channeling that part was like, so is that where the story of evolution, like, were those kind of the, again, not another one of my specialties, but in evolution, so like prehistoric man, was that like, does it go with that? Did they come in at like, how does that story factor in?
I don't
Because
know.
I definitely all my life have leaned, there's the big debate whether it's really evolution or Adam and Eve, right? Like, evolution or the creation story. And I've definitely leaned towards evolution because again, I just couldn't get I couldn't compute the Adam and Eve story. So I would love to know more about how they go together, like
Yeah.
And
Because
then
I've always sort of held both. Like I believe I understand evolution and I believe in evolution, but it never felt right to me that we evolved directly from like an amoeba or whatever. I don't even like you say
or
I'm
from apes.
yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
like
a thing on like, I don't know, TikTok, like some social media once that said, if humans evolved from apes, how come apes are still apes?
yes.
And I was like,
Yes. Like I think there's a lot
those guys
more
didn't get
to
to
it.
evolve.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
lot more to it than we understand, right?
Yeah.
But I do
So,
believe in evolution. But when you were talking about that, did we come from that? I just had this thought of maybe the evolution has more to do with our soul evolution in that we were all of these other beings,
or the
Maybe we were
first
amoebas
straw.
before human beings were able to come to Earth. Maybe animals came to Earth before that, and we were incarnated as animals. And we were, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. Like
Let's
I
see when
know.
she has
Like
to
I
say.
mean, please, I'm hoping Pele, but
I
it's
don't
a
know.
series. So I'm hoping she's gonna get more into that whole thing. Or maybe, so you're saying, or maybe we were dropped right as humans.
hmm
I don't know. Okay, so
I don't know either. Like I said, I've sort of held both of these in, because I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but
yeah,
I definitely believe in the spirituality side of we could just appear as human beings. Like I totally yeah, that could happen. But then I also understand the whole evolution side of things to a certain degree and understand that, yeah, we definitely evolve as beings. But I never, and apparently somebody said recently, I didn't know this, that there are missing links apparently in this evolution theory that
yes.
that there are missing
Yeah.
links in there. And because it never made sense to me that we literally
The chart,
physically
the
from
chart
that.
with the, like, it goes from amoeba,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the like prehistoric man. And And yeah, so I don't know, or were we dropped in as, now I don't know any of the names of the ones before Homo
I
sapiens.
know, me either.
But anyway, where we dropped into one of those, and then we evolved. Anyway, Pele can hear us.
Yes.
So, Pele gets what we are wondering here, and hopefully it will be addressed eventually, either
Yeah.
today or
Like the
in a.
Neanderthals, the Homo sapiens,
Yeah, all that.
all that stuff. Yeah, I
Homo
don't know the
erectus,
names
I don't know.
either.
Yeah, all that. I'll be looking at the chart later. But but anyway, yeah. So how does that all compute? And then another thing, I wrote it down. Like I stopped for a second and wrote this down because I wanted to know if the 144,000, so I get it. So they're not saying that the 144,000 are like some sort of saved individuals or the only ones who are gonna, or any of that kind of, like, not the only anything, but they were the first to come in.
Yeah.
And they're going to be the first, is that what it said? For the veil to lift for, I think, right? And then, right?
I
Right?
think so, but I don't really remember because it comes through me. I don't. But that is my impression.
Yeah, these souls are the souls at 234 in the notes that I'm sharing with you here. The 144,000 is a group of souls that is responsible for making the Earth experiment a success, because they were the first. It says before that they were like the first. These souls have incarnated over and over and over again. These souls are the souls that will lead the Earth in the awakening process over the coming years. Okay, now, and then they went into the fact that every single soul is involved in the whole thing and is responsible for Earth's success, and
Yes.
all have all these different, I'll just call it jobs that we do while we're here, gifts that we bring in and use and all that. But the first 144,000 are special in their own way. I'm going to follow this with my question.
Yep.
They incarnate first, and they have been working at this longer than any other souls on Earth. But then this is where she went into all the gifts being needed of all souls, though.
Yeah.
Okay, but the 144,000, I'm wondering if this is where well, not only like something that I may aspire to more than you, the whole seeding, seeding, seeding thing, where I believe we were seeded from Conversations from Beyond, I think from the 12 homes. So we're the 144,000 from the 12 homes. Were they the seeding of Earth? Like, where did they come? Were they all, were they from the 12 homes is what I want to know.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know if you want to ask that now or if there's.
Yeah, well, she definitely had more to say. So.
Oh, did she? Okay.
Yeah. She was done, and then I
I'll
asked her,
stop talking.
I'd
rather listen to Pele.
So yeah,
Okay.
I think now that we've sort of talked about those things, that she will address
what
she wants to address.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive
I want to throw in something for viewers. Sorry. If you are wondering, like Cindy's Angels explained that it's Pele that has joined us, and Pele is the one who joined us in CFB9. If you're interested in all of this and this series, you might want to watch CFB8 and CFB9 in our Conversations from Beyond series, because it's just going to give you the background leading into like what we're talking, some of the things that we're talking about here. You don't have to watch them to continue this series, but anyway, yeah. So it is Pele who was the being that joined us in CFB9 who is doing this series with us.
Yes,
and I'm thrilled. Who also was your.
Yes, so Pele is a special friend of mine. I channeled Pele for years. At the beginning of my experience channeling my angels, she came in and I channeled her for years, and we developed this wonderful relationship. And yeah, so she's in CFB9. I think they talked about her being one of the first souls created, and that she incarnated. We call her Pele, but she incarnated once as Pele,
Yes.
the fire goddess of volcanoes, the goddess of fire and volcanoes. And Hawaii, she's very attached to Hawaii. They know all about Pele and the volcanoes, and it's really cool. So yeah, so I have a very special connection with her soul.
Yeah, and we give these souls.
Thrilled that she's going to be talking.
I know, I knew you would be. We give, like, we're using these names, Mary Magdalene, Pele, Jesus, for these souls. I don't think they go around calling each other that.
No. That's just
So
for our
these are the
sakes. We have
names that are
something to call
kind of,
them.
to me, it's like it's their most famous incarnations
Yeah.
with our generation. And so we call them by somebody that they incarnated as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've all had many incarnations.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, go.
dive back in. Okay, so the pendulum is still being of light. This is Pele. And I have more clarification for you. In regards to the evolution of physical love-filled beings on Earth. The evolution is a more spiritual evolution than physical. However, there is some physical evolution as well. Okay, actually she's stopping because I just remembered that I had a reading with a woman once, and so I asked, are you stopping so I could tell the story? She said yes. It just reminded me, I just remembered that I had a reading with a woman once, and my angels told her that she was one of those first human beings that we don't know the names of. But she came in with an evolutionary change. So she was born with some new physical aspect.
Okay.
And yeah, and so she was like the first person to now start the human physical evolution in a new direction.
Huh.
And that now in this lifetime, she's going to be helping us evolve. I don't know if they said physically, but definitely spiritually, like throughout this awakening process, we're evolving. And like I said, there might be also physical stuff going on that we're evolving that I don't know about. And yeah, so that was really cool. Yeah, I forgot all about that she did have this physical, new thing that then became part of the evolution of the early humans.
Okay, so there was that.
Yes. Okay. So yes, physical beings on Earth do evolve. And they are connected to other physical beings in a line of evolution. However, it is not an unbroken chain. To be followed from the single-celled beings to the human beings. There is a lot more to physical evolution than anyone on Earth understands at this time. This is something that will come to light many, many years down the line in human mainstream knowledge. You are going to get a preview of some of this knowledge. There are missing links to physical evolution, because there are instances where physical evolution was aided by light beings in the universe. Now, we need to clarify something else. There are many homes in the universe. However, the universe has two levels of awareness. There is the universe you see from Earth, and that is your earthly universe. And it is all part of the Earth experiment. And it follows the laws of karma and creation within that karma. In other words, people create what is in the Earth universe by their own belief systems. Then there is the universe in all that is not a part of Earth's energy. This universe is all love and light. So many people on Earth are having experiences with what they believe to be aliens and beings of light from the universe. However, most of those are from Earth's universe that is created by your beliefs. Then there are some experiences being had by people on Earth where they are experiencing a connection with beings of light from the universe in all that is. Those connections are all love and light. This may help you understand that there are two very different things going on that people are talking about as if it's the same thing. So, these missing links are there because Earth's evolution was aided by love-filled beings on this side of awareness. This is not the aliens that most people on Earth are aware of. Those aliens are created by your belief systems. This is going to become more obvious as the next few years unfold. There will be contact from love-filled beings of light on this side of awareness, and there will be alien contact that is created from the belief systems of many people on Earth. Love-filled beings are never going to scare you. Love-filled beings are so full of love energy that you will feel that love energy before you even see the being of light and love. This is something to keep in mind as the next few years unfold. This is going to be an incredible time to be on Earth, and it is going to be a very scary time for some people. This is all part of their own planning, and they are creating something that will allow them to awaken in the best way possible. And some people have created their experiences so that they are going to have something wild to experience and remember for all of eternity. There are all kinds of souls incarnated on Earth with all kinds of experiences planned for themselves. And they are walking their paths as masters of their own destiny. Now we are going to address the love energy in a lot of your hearts right now. You are opening your minds to something new. And that is a process. This process is best taken over time. Allow the information in these messages to wash over you and see what feels right to you and observe what makes you uncomfortable. Then let it sit and let the ideas percolate and live your life and have a focus on finding and experiencing your joy. You will open to this information on your own without forcing if this is the right path for you. Now we have more to explain about the 144,000. This is a number that is a purposeful number because it holds an energy that is conducive to evolution. The 144,000 first appeared as light energy beings, and they prepared Earth for inhabitants. Then the 144,000 also incarnated as the flora and fauna of Earth. And then the 144,000 began incarnating as human beings. This didn't happen all at once. Some were incarnated as flora and fauna, as others began appearing as human beings. Then more souls started arriving, and they began as flora and fauna, and then became human beings. However, after the Earth was well established, many souls incarnated directly into human beings and have never incarnated as flora or fauna. The incarnation of human beings on Earth is a miracle in itself. And it has allowed for an incredible amount of powerful love energy to be created. This is when the Earth's energy became very dense and was the very beginning of the descent into darkness. This descent took many, many, many years. And it happened very slowly. However, the descent also happened quickly. If you compare it with the time it took to prepare Earth for incarnations of human beings. The 144,000 has been a myth in many different belief systems. The myth is that only 144,000 souls will ascend. This is a misunderstanding. The 144,000 are leading the ascension process. However, everyone on Earth will awaken and live on Earth as their true selves. This will happen over the course of a few decades, and most probably a couple of decades. There are many possibilities in the running at this time. I completely forgot what your second question was.
About the 100, if the 144 were from the 12 homes.
Oh,
Is that the seeding? Is that, you know, where the whole seeding thing came? Maybe she's going to address that in a future.
Well, and see, that's that when she explained about the two different universes.
Yeah.
Right? There's the universe in Earth's experience, and then there's the universe in all that is. And so because that explains my resistance to the whole seeding thing, because when I hear people talk about that, they talk about Earth's universe, is how it feels to me, even before I understood what this was. And so they're talking about aliens seeding Earth with alien DNA and stuff. And that never sat right with me.
Yeah, and that's not what I'm talking about. But yes,
Yeah.
I hear you. There's
But that's where the
another whole talk about, maybe I should be
Yeah.
using the word seeding. But the videos I watched about it did call it seeding, but it was soul seeding. It's and also like
soul seeding,
what's her
yes.
name? Dolores Cannon?
Yeah.
I don't think she's talking. I've only read one of her books. I'm not a Dolores Cannon expert, but I don't think she's talking about alien DNA seeding. I think she was talking about what I'm talking about, which is just using the word to describe what we learned in a bunch
Yes.
of episodes of Conversations from Beyond, which
Yes.
is that our souls
Yes.
come from these different homes. We've met about, what do we meet? 5, 6 of the homes?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about alien DNA
And
seeding. You're right.
that I'm in line with. That I get. But yeah, the alien DNA, and I mean, I could be wrong. She might come through right now and say, "Yo, yeah, no, there is alien DNA." I don't know.
Well,
But
it sounds like
that's not.
so this whole part about the alien, the whole, I'm going to call it the alien thing, being created by, like, they're talking about manifested.
Yes.
I'm trying to find it in here, but anyway, being manifested through people's beliefs.
Yeah.
So that means, and that it's sometimes because some people did come in with like, we're back to another CFB, where when you made your plan for how it was your life, this incarnation was gonna unfold, it sounds like some people did plan for weird things to happen, or,
Yes.
really things that they're gonna have a story to tell as a
Alien
soul.
abduction. I know. It made it sound like it was like, I'm going to come in and I'm going to have this wild experience so that I have like stories to tell my grandkids, kind of thing, you know?
I know, my soul grandkids.
Exactly.
Anyway, yeah. So, okay. So, because while I'm listening and typing, and then I'm thinking, but then does that mean that those are not real? But yes, they are
Oh, they're
in our
totally
youth
real.
universe. They are Earth universe. They
Yes.
are.
Yes.
But in reality, like oh, look, my scrolling just landed there. So, like, it's when they're talking about love-filled beings are never going to scare you. So the aliens might, is what I'm getting, that
Yes.
they, for those people who've created that experience.
Yes.
So, like, even when I think about aliens, like, I did spend a short amount of time, remember, being interested in aliens and ships coming in and all that kind of
Yes.
stuff, but never, ever, ever has my picture been something horrific, like something
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I just am like, pleased to meet you. Like, I want to meet you.
Because that's
But
the
I
other thing
don't know
too
if I
is,
believe that anymore.
yeah. Because that's the other thing too is the whole ship idea. Like, they don't, the way what feels right to me is they don't need ships to come here. The
You like
light
the
beams,
dog.
you know what I mean? But of course we create that. We've created that. There are a lot of people, and I believe it. Like you say, is it real? Yes, it's very real. It's very real for them. But if it's not something you've created in your karma, and my angels explain the way they use karma, it's just what you've created, what you've signed up to experience. I want to experience this. And so you're going to experience that. Whether it doesn't matter how crazy it is or whatever, like you will experience that. And it's very real because it is real, because it is your experience here on Earth.
Yeah, and it's not a punishment
not
or
my
reward.
experience. And one of those things for me is evil entities, evil, like all of that evil stuff is not in my experience. It's just not something that I know. I have not planned that in my experience, but I also know it's very real for other people. All of that. And so I'm empathetic to that, and I understand that people can have those experiences, but it's just not something that's ever, like, it's just not something I've created for myself. And I know that. I know that with every cell of my being. Because it's karma, like it's what you've signed up to experience.
So maybe evil entities too, like aliens, can be part of Earth's
Oh,
universe.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, for
Anyway,
sure.
this is digressing us, but
I know people who
so
closely who have had very scary evil entity experiences, and I completely believe them. It's like, yes, I believe you've had this, but I just know it's just not part of my reality. It's just not.
okay. I've never had anybody that I knew with these
I
stories,
have.
so I tend to lean to not believing them. So, but I don't know anybody that, so you know somebody that made that credible, you know, like I just had, it's not been in my experience to have heard somebody have such an experience, and so therefore I lean to not believing it.
Yeah.
I'm still not saying it doesn't exist. I just don't have experience.
Exactly.
But anyway, so perhaps I put into my experience plan, like I do kind of believe, well, in aliens, that there are other, I guess, in Earth's universe, anyway, that might make contact with us one day. But I still, on a bigger scale, like the awakening and the veil lifting and all that, like that is these love field beings making contact with us. But never do I ever have the feeling that any of it is going to be scary or negative. So it's just interesting how we all planned out all these different experiences, and then the karma, like you said, like this. So karma, again, how things have filtered down in stories and stuff, like the definition that we have of karma from Cindy's Angels has nothing to do with punishment and reward, like stuff that you have to pay back, or so, like nothing like that.
Yeah.
But that
can be
signed up for, that it's what you signed up for that you may not have finished experiencing in a past lifetime, and now you're going to experience it now. Sorry, what did you say?
Or something that you've planned for in this lifetime. Yes. And, but however, we can create that other definition of punishment and reward karma in our lives. And the video that I did on my other channel, Lady of the Force 444, I talked about that. We're like, I taught my kids the concept of karma. I've seen it play out in my life and other people's lives. But if that's a belief that you hold, you will create that. You know what I mean? If that's part of your belief systems, then of course you can create that. So when they told me that on their side of awareness, that's not what karma is. Karma is just the experiences we signed up for. It frees us from that. And also explains, because if karma were a true thing for everybody on Earth, like it doesn't play out that way. We all see people.
Some people.
Exactly. We all see people who should have karma come and bite them in the butt, and it doesn't, because if it's not part of their experience, it's never going to happen for them, you know, like, so that was clarified by my angels, which was cool.
So that's all in the Earth universe, like all of that, like in Earth's universe. I'm looking at my notes again. In Earth's universe, you can create with your belief systems, whatever, but it doesn't mean that it's true, because there's another whole definition of universe, which also, by the way, like when you ask questions in the comments, our guests, I don't know, see that, whatever. Anyway, often the questions that you ask in the comments on some of our videos have been answered in future videos, like without us even asking them. And there have been a few people that have asked about, but is there only one universe? And so I just thought it was interesting that this came out today, that, well, yeah, but no.
Exactly. Right? And it's so complicated, to think about.
Yeah. There's the big universe and the little sub-universe, I guess, that we're experiencing.
But that universe, the Earth's universe, is subject to our beliefs.
Yes, exactly. So that's the one where we're creating all the things that that are very true on an earthly, this incarnation scale, like you said, like having an evil entity experience or something like that. Like it's true on this earth, this incarnation level. Yes. But it's not true on the big picture beyond the veil level, right? We've created that. It explains so much to me. Exactly. Explains so much to me.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask her quickly, because I know what this is getting long, so I do want to end it soon, but I wanted to ask her that question that you had. So that was, if the 144,000 come from all 12 homes.
Yeah, like, is that, well, like they've already told us that we came in from the 12 homes. Yeah. So it was that, like, is it like some from all of them? Okay. I'm sure she knows. She'll.
Yeah. Okay, we'll ask that quickly. Okay, the pendulum is still. This is Pele again. The 144,000 did come from all the homes in the universe. And there is also a larger number of angels of origin within this group. The 144,000 is a love-filled group of light beings that is made up of the highest ranking and most powerful souls that were recruited to incarnate in this incarnation of Earth to help it become a success. In the previous two incarnations of Earth, all souls in the universe were invited to sign up for this experiment. For this incarnation of Earth, we recruited 144,000 top experienced souls to incarnate first. And then we brought in anyone who wanted to sign up. The interesting thing is that everyone, whoever incarnated on the failed incarnations of Earth, also incarnated on this successful incarnation of Earth. And this successful incarnation of Earth is healing the karma created within the two failures of Earth. So this successful incarnation of Earth is triply successful. Now I have one more thing to share before ending this session. The next few years are going to be a very interesting and exciting few years. However, there is also going to be a lot of chaos and fear. You are instrumental in guiding the next few years along a path of love and light. Just like there are two universes and it gets complicated to understand, there are two experiences for every human. There is the individual human experience, and there is the collective human experience. So, As light workers, you are holding the love energy to help yourself have the best experience you can possibly have by living your best life and walking your highest path. This has a double effect because you doing your work and seeking out the light and love in your life also helps the collective experience. There will be chaos and fear growing over the next few years. And the light workers on Earth are going to anchor more and more love energy to help diffuse the chaos and fear. So you are able to help yourself and to help others in Earth's universe to have a hope-filled and peaceful experience. Okay, she's done, but I just thought of a question I want to ask her. So aliens within Earth's universe, are they souls incarnated? Yes. The aliens in Earth's universe are souls incarnated to complete karmic cycles with certain people who have planned certain experiences with aliens. These souls are usually high-level souls. Okay, now she's done. Oh my goodness. I feel like I never thought of that. This Earth experiment is so complicated.
No kidding. I get that though, that last part. Like it's just like how
Yeah.
if I'm like sometimes, they talk about how sometimes a negative experience in your life that
Yeah.
was a contact, like if I have somebody who's mean to me or an abuser
Oh, yes.
or like it's like that was somebody who incarnated and agreed as part of their plan to do that to me. So same kind of idea.
Oh, for sure.
The
Yeah.
aliens are
I
like,
just
okay,
never,
and then in 2024, we will appear to you. We'll fly it in a ship. It's gonna scare the out of you.
I just never thought of it that way, until just now. I thought, oh my goodness. They have, if they're enacting in this Earth experience, they must be a
Yeah,
light
that was a
being.
great last question. I was like, yeah, yes, that's that. So that last message, just a second. So as light workers, you're holding the love energy to help yourself have the best experience you can possibly have by living your best life and walking your highest path. This has double effect because you doing your work and seeking out the light and love in your life also helps the collective experience. There will be chaos and fear growing over the next few years, and the light workers on Earth are going to anchor more and more love energy to help diffuse the chaos and fear. So you are able to help yourself and to help others in Earth's universe to have a hope-filled and peaceful experience. We're back to the holding the vision from CFB8.
Yes.
I'm telling you, if you're really into this and you haven't watched our conversation from Beyond series, like there's just so much of it, you know what I mean, that
Yeah.
leads into this. You would find it very interesting. yeah, we're back to holding the vision, and now we know that like it's manifesting. So by holding the vision, we can help to manifest a more peaceful like next few years and peaceful awakening and all that sort of thing. Yeah, for everyone.
Yeah. So again, so many layers, eh? So many layers.
Yeah, because what about if they contracted to have a not peaceful one, but then what can happen is that maybe our soul level talks to their soul level, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and
yeah, and
modifies the
people,
contract.
well, exactly. Well, but also just like they said, diffuse it just somewhat, you know, because
Yeah.
you can have an uncomfortable experience up here and you can have an uncomfortable experience down here, you know?
Yes, it doesn't have to be
And
horrific.
exactly. And if I have the choice between uncomfortable here and uncomfortable here, I'll take uncomfortable here, thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
yeah.
And we're back to that thing about just keep what I've talked about vibration, right? Like just keeping your vibration as high as possible. And you do that by just seeking out joy. Like that can be simple. Like for me, that's just spending as much time in nature as like whenever I have a minute, I just go for a walk in nature because that's where I feel my vibration lifting, you know, and that's how we can start to, right, steer things over, is to just try and, yeah, do that stuff. I don't mean go to nature. I mean, whatever makes you feel joy.
Exactly. Yeah. And one of those things for me is getting these messages.
Yes.
Because these messages are blowing my mind in a good way. Like I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's so cool. And just I get to feel the energy as it comes through and just all the love. And so
For sure.
this
Yes.
is definitely a joy-filled experience for me.
Something else that I do when that comes from, I think from Abraham Hicks, from like manifesting theory or whatever, law of attraction theory, is when I get caught up in a negative, here's how it's going to turn out track in my mind, like even if I'm talking about a day at work or like whatever, a conversation with somebody or something like that, the trick is to just throw in what if that's not how? What if it doesn't? Just what if? And you don't even have to answer that. Like it just like helps to move the manifestation a little bit away from that worst case scenario.
Create another possibility.
You know? It's gonna suck. What if it doesn't?
Yes,
you know?
Exactly.
So just, you know, things that we can do to help try, and it said that as light workers, we can kind of just help try and steer things over to, you know, peace and love and grooviness.
Hold the vision of peace and love and grooviness. I love it.
So I think we'll wrap up. So thanks so much for joining us for this first video of the new series. So now we know that we're going to be returning to Conversations from Beyond, but after we finish this series that is Earth's History Explained by a Light Being.
Yeah.
So can't wait to record the next episode. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. What, you know, what's this doing to your thought processes? And if you have any questions that you'd like to work us into future videos. And thank you so much for joining us. Hold the vision and have a great day.
Yes. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.